Hello everyone! Welcome to day number 5 of my Christmas in July card crafting mini-series. I'm going to be making up many more Christmas cards over the next several months, but I just wanted to kick off the beginning of the Christmas card crafting with this fun little mini-series. So yesterday I showed you a sneak peek of this set, and this is the set I'm going to be using today. It's called Winter Welcome Sled. I adore this little set. The dies are so clever, and you can use this for Christmas cards or just winter cards in general. I really love the ice skates and how they layer up. You can also make an old-fashioned sled, and it also gives you some foliage and flower dies. So let me show you how these ice skates layer up. I cut out the bottom or the base piece with some Portobello craft cardstock, and I'm putting a piece of white cardstock on top, but look how cute those are. The dies are all very simple to put together. I'm planning on making several more cards using this little set to mail out come Christmas time. I always like to mail mine out the last week of November, or at least I try to. It doesn't always happen. But that's when I plan on mailing out all of my Christmas cards. I really like it when people send me Christmas cards early because I put every single one of them on top of my fireplace and enjoy them so much all month long. Okay, so let's put the sled together. But before I do this, I want to add a little bit of dimension using some mahogany Distress Oxide ink. I'm just going to add a little bit of a deeper color at the edges of the wood pieces to the sled. I'm using Poppy Field Red cardstock. And it's just a very subtle touch, but it's those little subtle touches that sure make it come to life. These pieces have some faux wood grain embossed into them. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it's so cute. I cut out the metal part of this sled, the undercarriage or whatever you call it, with some silver mirror cardstock. And now I'm just going to start gluing on my wood pieces. It takes a while for them to dry on this silver mirror cardstock. I'll pull out my tweezers to help me a little bit with laying these down. I'm going to glue the 2 side pieces down first. This way I can evenly space the other 3 pieces in between my 2 edge pieces. Okay, now for the middle piece. I'm using the Barely Arts Precision Glue with a really fine-tipped nozzle to do this. I put this piece up a little bit too high, so I did slide it down a bit. Now I just have 2 pieces left to attach. This turns out to be such a fun, old-fashioned looking card with this old-fashioned sled and the ice skates. Okay, now for the last piece. I have to flip it around here. There we go. Now I can set this aside to dry because it does take a little bit longer on that metallic cardstock. I want to put some texture behind my sled, so I'm pulling out an embossing folder from Spellbinders, and this one is called Sweater Weather. And I'm going to emboss a piece of Portobello craft cardstock. Okay, and here it is all embossed. It's so cute. I love the sweater texture on this. I'm going to pull out my vintage photo Distress Oxide ink just to darken the edges a little bit. And I'm going to speed up the video here. But I'm not bringing the ink all the way into the center. I just wanted to bring out the texture a little bit more on this embossed paper. I'll set that piece aside and start putting together the flowers. I cut them out with white cardstock just so that they would tie in with the white ice skates. The leaves include this beautiful vein die that I'm putting down with some metallic gold cardstock. And it just looks so pretty on these leaves. I cut out a piece of Peridot green cardstock for the center of the flower. I will add a little bit of glitter pen over this off camera, but you'll see the glitter at the end of this video. Okay, so let's start putting this card together. I'm going to put a piece of this mirror cardstock on my white card base, allowing a white border to show through. Next, we'll put down the embossed piece. I'm just using my dot liner to do this. And then next we can start building the little sled and ice skates scene. Okay, so the sled is just going down flat. I'm using some liquid glue to adhere this. I'm going around the perimeter of the sled, and then I'll add some to the red cardstock in the middle. But I just want to make sure that this piece isn't going anywhere. I'm going to put it straight up and down, but it would look cute kind of askew if you wanted to do that. With this in place, I'm going to start building my floral scene at the top of the sled. The flowers I am going to pop up with some foam. So I'll start with the flower in the center and then just start adding these beautiful leaves with the gold veins. I'll add one more, kind of more toward the top. And then I'll start adding the pine boughs. These I cut out using some scrap cardstock that had some overfoiling on them, so that's why you see little touches of gold on these pine boughs. It looks so pretty, I didn't want to waste that cardstock. This piece is the string for the ice skates. So I'll add that next just below the flower. And I'll just glue that down flat. And then the ice skates I am going to pop up with some more of the foam squares. Just trying to figure out my position of these skates. And then I can peel off the release paper on the back. This set is going down as one of my favorite die sets for 2022. I just adore this little set. And then I'm going to fill in my floral scene just a little bit more. It needed some more fullness to it. So I'll add some more pine boughs. This one I'm actually going to cut down a little bit and just tuck in up at the top. I want to have some of the silver cardstock up at the top of this card that belongs to the sled showing through. Okay, so my sentiment comes from a stamp set that came out last year. This is a cute little snowman stamp set. It's called Friendly Snowman, and I'm going to use the sentiment that says warmest wishes. So this could be a winter card as well. It doesn't have to be a Christmas card. I'll stamp this out onto a piece of white cardstock using some VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I'll just stamp it out with one of my acrylic blocks. I'm going to use a sentiment strip die on this and just having it come off the card like a tag. I'll tape this into place as a little banner at one end. I always have my little sentiment strip dies handy on my desk because I use them so often. So let me take this off camera and cut it out. And here it is, all ready to go. I am going to pull out my scissors and just snip this so it's a little bit shorter. And then I'll use some liquid glue behind it and just tuck it under the flower. And it'll just be at an angle on this card. Okay, some new products from Spellbinders that I'm in love with are these new gems. They are onyx black and opal white. I'm going to use the opal white ones. Their Crystal Mix gems had this white gem in the pack, and I used them up so fast. So I was so happy to see they came out with a whole pack of these white gems. So I'll just put 3 of these around the card. And you can find the links to these products in the description box in case you want to check out any of these. I couldn't quite decide where to put this last gem. Okay, now let me show you a close-up look. Isn't that just sweet? I hope you have enjoyed this Christmas in July card crafting mini series. Thanks for all of your lovely comments that you leave me and for hitting that thumbs up button. I really do appreciate it. So, do you guys like to start creating your Christmas cards in July, or do you wait till it's closer to Christmas? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your response to that. Well, happy crafting, everyone, and I'll be back really soon with another card crafting video. Bye!